Yeah, this case is number 176 and 177 in the matter of Bucci versus Watson.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Let's deal with your case first against the Watsons.
Okay.
Your claim is that you sold them a car.
Correct.
They acknowledge that you sold them a car, correct?
Yes.
The car was sold for $11,000. They paid, according to you, partially on the car, and they still owe you a balance.
Correct.
They have a rather interesting defense, which I am going to allow them to explain to me. This is your daughter?
Yes, it is.
And this is your son?
Yes.
And you think she's an angel?
She's a human being and an angel to me.
Well, of course she's a human being. That's a kind of species. And this is your angel.
He's my son.
Neither of them are my angels. Because I think that they're both troublemakers. And I think that they probably got you wrapped around here if you think that they're angels. Because I guarantee you that neither one of them are angels. How much did you sell them the car for? It was $11,000?
Correct.
And how much did they pay you in cash or check?
A check for $1,500 and then 2 more payments of $500, and that was it.
So $2,500 was paid?
Correct.
So far, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, who's going to explain to me why you don't owe them any more money?
Well, the thing is that Andrea was charged with a felony.
Let's start from the beginning. You and Andrea were in a car.
Correct.
Go ahead.
We got pulled over. The reason for being pulled over was due to the front windows being tinted. Once we got pulled over, the officer, asked license, registration. To my knowledge, basically I had a warrant for my arrest due to a DUI back in 2006. One of the payments didn't go through.
Okay, so you had a prior DUI. You failed to either appear or pay your fine. You did not respond to a notice, and they issued a warrant for your arrest.
Correct.
And you were driving.
Yes, correct.
Did you have a license?
Yes. At the time.
A valid license?
Yes. At the time, the suspension basically wasn't valid at the time, though, because of the suspension.
Hey, listen, do I speak English?
Yes.
Do you speak English?
Yes.
On December 27th, 2008, did you have a valid driver's license?
No, not then. Currently, I do.
I don't care about now. I mean, did I not make myself clear?
You made
I said,
yourself
did you
clear.
have a valid driver's license? I said, not do you have one now. Did you have a valid driver's license? The answer is
no.
So you had an outstanding warrant, a no driver's license, and you were driving?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, let's proceed from there. So
the police officer put me in handcuffs in the back of the patrol car, and I was driven down to the station. While I was down in the station, the police officer basically told me that I had to get a new girlfriend. And
I don't care what the police officer told you, sir. That, sir, is hearsay. So it has just been erased from my mind. So now you're in handcuffs in the police station.
Yes.
Do you know anything else that happened at that time?
Yes.
From your own knowledge?
Yes.
Go ahead.
The officer informed me that...
Don't tell me what the officer informed you. Didn't you understand what I said? Don't you watch Law and Order? Hearsay is inadmissible. Now, you understand what hearsay is?
Yes.
Perfect. Tell me what you saw, smelled, tasted, or felt.
To my knowledge, Andrea was charged...
Not to your knowledge. Now he's in handcuffs, and he's in the police car. And what happens, Andrea?
Well, he had 2 warrants.
What happened?
What happened, Andrea?
He got put in the police car, and then they arrested me.
For what, Andrea?
Because there was his drugs and
Don't tell me his drugs. Because why did they arrest you?
Because they were in my purse, and the car
What was in your purse?
There was Coke and pills, a scale,
Coke,
and bags.
Pills, a scale, and what else?
Bags.
Bags?
Little bags.
Just little bags?
Yes.
And how many people were in the car?
Just him and I.
And how big was the scale?
It was like a cell phone.
Describe it to me.
It was one of those razor flip phones, and if you flipped it open, then there was like that was the scale part, I guess.
And how many bags were there?
I couldn't tell you.
More than 5 or less than 5?
I would say more than 5.
More than 10 or less than 10?
More than 10.
More than 20 or less than 20?
I guess a little over 20.
A little over 20. Plastic bags. So all of the makings of measuring out the Coke and weighing it and putting it in the bags.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And then the car was still under my name, so I get arrested for everything. Robert tells the police officer that he had...
Don't tell me what Robert tells the police officer.
Well, okay,
So you were arrested for possession of a controlled substance with intent to sell.
Yes.
A felony.
Yes.
And did your parents or you get a lawyer?
Yes.
Did you get an appointed lawyer, or did your family hire a lawyer for you?
Hired. I guess hired lawyer.
Yes.
They hired a lawyer. And how much did you spend for the lawyer?
The lawyer is $5,000.
So a good lawyer. And you had consultations with the lawyer?
Yes.
And after consultation with the lawyer, did you go to trial?
No. He felt that was bad to do.
And you pled guilty to a felony.
Yes.
They negotiated a plea
Yes.
that involved no jail time, but it involved restitution.
Yes.
In the amount of how much?
I had to pay a
$630.
$630 fine, and then I had to pay $5,000 for probation.
We had to cover your bail.
And then they raised my bail when I went to court. It was $10,000 when I got arrested, and Stacy bailed me out because she knew her son did that. And when I went to
She
court...
didn't know anything, madam. And if you think that I believe that you were not complicit in this drug possession, you are crazy. Your mother may believe that you were not complicit in this drug mess. Maybe she thinks that. I don't. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. So let's not go there. I mean,
Okay.
I read your papers. The dog ate my homework is something you should have gotten rid of when you were 6.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Fine.
So then when I went to court, they raised my bail to $4,000.
$60,000.
$60,000, but we paid
We had to pay the bail,
$4,000.
so we covered that.
Good. And you pled guilty, and yes.
Because I pled guilty, because Robert has hit me in the past. He threatened to hurt my family and me, so...
Baloney! Well, you want to know why that's baloney? Because if it were true, you wouldn't be here today.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The two ladies can sit down because you have a lawsuit against him.
Yes.
I'm dying to get to that one. Not you.
Judge Judy, Maureen Bucci, and her daughter Andrea claim Andrea's ex-boyfriend Robert Watson and his mother Stacy owe for unpaid car payments.
Now, if you were afraid of him, and if you were afraid that he was going to hurt your family, and if you were afraid that he was going to hurt you, you wouldn't sue him. You would beg your mother, you would beg your family, please don't sue him because I'm afraid of him. You pled guilty because you were guilty. The judge said to you, are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? And you were swore under oath that you were pleading guilty because you are guilty. That's what happened, because that's what happens in courts, right?
I have proof of a text message that Robert wrote me.
That?
He admitted that everything in the car was his. And he said that I took the blame for him so he could do his insurance class.
Oh, this book's such baloney. That's such baloney. I'm not interested, madam. If that's written, maybe it's something nice that you said to your lawyer. And maybe it's nice that you showed it to your mother. And maybe it made your mother feel better. But I got news for you. If he's the bum that you say he is, he would not have memorialized that in a writing. Unless you needed it to show your mom. Unless you needed it to show your lawyer. If you think that I believe that you didn't know that there were drugs in your pocketbook, you're nuts. Do you understand?
Yes.
Perfect. And if you're telling me now that you lied to the court, I guarantee you that the judge who is going to be watching, maybe we'll send them a copy of this tape, will reopen your plea arrangement and you can go to trial. Would you like to do that?
No.
Right. Now, your defense is that you paid for her bail and some of her fines in exchange for the balance of the car, right?
Correct.
Baloney! Listen, does your mother think that you didn't know about these drugs that were in her bag? Does your mother think that?
have
Do you
no
think
idea.
that he didn't know about these drugs? He's a bum. He's already been arrested. How many times? How many times have you been arrested? That's 5, 3. How many?
2 times.
How old are you?
24.
I'm older than that. The exact number is something you don't have to know. I've never been arrested. Raise your hand, those people in the gallery. who at age 24 have been arrested at least twice? No one. You know what that means? You're a bum. And she took the fall for you and her, because she's responsible too. You just hit it lucky. Sir, you understand? And if you felt at least partially responsible because your bum knew about these drugs and the two of them were going to cut them together, bag them and sell them, and if you chose to help out because you were helping out because he got off, so you felt a little guilty, that's your problem. But that doesn't take care of your responsibility to her for the balance of the car. Do you understand?
Yes.
So you have a judgment for $5,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the two ladies can sit down because you have a lawsuit against him.
Yes.
I'm dying to get to that one.
Right under his chair.
Sit. Not you.
Oh, sorry about that.
Now, you are the proverbial victim.
Yes.
Yes. And you're suing him for $1,500 because you say that he went gambling and took out money from a card of yours without your permission.
Yes.
When did he do that?
It was 1/27/09.
Oh, this is absolutely blissful. Do I love this? So after you had been arrested for possession of drugs with intent to sell them, and your mother and father have probably mortgaged themselves to the hilt to get their beautiful victim out of trouble yet again, somehow the boyfriend, who is still the boyfriend, got your card and took out some money to go gambling, right?
Yes.
Did you go with him?
No. I was only 20 at the time. I couldn't even legally be
I
in
didn't
the
ask
casino.
you that, madam. I mean, you certainly were old enough to put a little cane. So if you tell me that you can't get an identification that says you're 21, you're speaking to the wrong person. Did you go with him to the casino?
No.
On the 27th, what casino did you go to?
We both went to Commerce Casino.
We did not both go to the casino. Actually, the 27th is when it started. These are the checks, the forged checks he did from his deceased father and his mother.
I'm not talking about the checks yet. I'm talking about the casino.
Okay.
That's two different causes of action that you have. One, that he put in bad checks into your bank account, and the other was for taking money out of your credit card.
Okay, I'm sorry then. It started 3/26/2009. He went to the casino.
Oh, March 26th, 09. So the checks were in January, a month after you had been arrested, and you're still cavorting around with him in March, right?
Yes, I was naive and...
No, you're not. You're not naive. You're slick, but not naive.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen to me. Zip it. She's trouble, and she's a liar.
I disagree on that.
Well, I'm telling you she's a liar.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. In a separate case, Andrea Bucci is suing her ex-boyfriend Robert Watson for stealing money and for cashing bad checks against her account.
Now, he's a bum, but you're slick, and your mother thinks that you're an innocent victim. She's not. She knows the scoop, madam, and she knows the score. Now, Mr. Watson, I have to tell you that you're a bum and you're a liar, because I said to you, did she go with you to casino on January 27th? And you said yes. You weren't in the casino January 27th. You were in the casino in March 26th. Now, were you in the casino on March 26th? Do you want to think about that for a minute?
I really honestly don't know. I know
That's a
within
good
March.
answer. If you don't know, you don't know. That you're allowed to say. I've been trying to teach my husband to say those 3 words for 33 years. I don't know. It's a hard thing for men to say. They make up things. Did you take out money from her credit card, sir?
No.
Whenever you took out money from her credit card, was she present?
I never took out money from her credit card, but
From where?
I never took money out from her credit card. though.
That's a lie.
Well, that's for me to determine.
Okay.
So you can prove to me that he took out money from your credit card
Yes.
without your permission. Go ahead.
Yes. I have the ATM, the transaction history from the
Yeah.
casino.
Don't speak.
I'm sorry.
And then I have,
That doesn't say he took the money out without your permission.
well, he stole my card. I didn't do this. I only had 51 cents in my bank account. There was no money in there.
So
I wouldn't take out money if I had no money in it.
Now, I haven't used an ATM card in over a dozen years. When one has somebody else's ATM card, don't they need something called a snap number or a PIN number or something? So he couldn't take out your money using an ATM card that he stole unless he had the PIN number.
And he knew the PIN number because
If you can't